We are here today with Kurt Grosvenor, the co-owner of Gold's Gym in Redmond, Washington. Good morning, Kurt.
Good morning.
Kurt's kindly agreed to tell us a little about his experience with Gold's Gym and with TMI Salt Pure. Kurt, could you, before we get going, could you explain your position with Gold's Gym and tell us a little bit about Gold's Gym, Redmond, Washington?
Absolutely. I am one of the co-owners, and at the time we opened in 2004 to 2007, I was the general manager. So not only did I help build it up, but was involved in a lot of the decisions in bringing in a variety of amenities, one being the pool, of course. And we chose a location next to Microsoft in Redmond. We chose that location because it was centrally located, but we also knew that with that customer in the Redmond area, a lot of Microsoft employees and such, they had high expectations of their experience at any athletic club. We chose to put in a variety of amenities. One of those is a salt pure pool and movie room and some other things in an effort to attract them and keep them coming.
Good. And you mentioned that you decided to do a salt pool, even prior to building the club. What was that decision based on?
That's an excellent question. That decision was based on sort of our peers' directives in this direction, and what we've heard in the industry about the experience of a salt pure pool. And again, we wanted to make sure that our customers were happy, and we knew the pool was a big draw, and we made that decision, and it was a great decision.
Then you went into the bid process, and you got a number of bids, and you started building the pool. Can you tell us a little bit about who you bought it from, who bid from you, and the ensuing issues once the pool was built?
It's a good question. That was quite a process. Not unlike any process when you're building a large facility, cost is always an issue. So when we first looked at putting the pool in, we looked at cost, and we looked at a variety of bids, and you guys in fact bid on it initially. Didn't get the bid, but we went with the lower bid, and in an effort to save some money, thinking it was the right thing to do, and was assured by our pool builder that it was the right decision. Unfortunately, that wasn't the right decision. The pool was under-designed, and the day we opened, we were already maxing it out, and we could never get the pool to stabilize, had so many complaints and a lot of problems associated with it. So.
And these problems associated, how did they affect revenue stream? Do they affect daily operations of the pools?
That's an excellent question. You know, when you have 10,000 members that expect an experience like to get to the pool and be able to use it, even if it's one parent or family or one swim lesson, it throws everything off. You have to call and cancel, and it creates a lot of chaos. And having to shut the pool down for a variety of reasons, mostly because it was never stabilized, it was overused, and caused us a lot of problems, I guess is where I'm going with that.
Did you find that you just did not get the support that you expected, or did you expect the system to simply run itself?
We were led to believe that even though it was a different system, that it would take care of itself. And again, not having the right professionals in there initially, and not having it laid out like it's supposed to, and having the correct amount of equipment to handle our bathing load, we started from a very precarious position right from the get-go. It caused us a lot of problems.
How did the vendors who provided you the salt equipment, how did they respond when you had problems?
Well, unfortunately, there wasn't really an expert on that team.
Mm.
And we basically were just throwing all sorts of solutions without any
Plan.
Thank you. And we never could get it to stabilize, and it caused us to stop and start and spend excess amount on chemicals. We went from a salt-based pool to pouring chlorine in it because we couldn't get it to stabilize, and of course that's not what we promised our customers.
Right. Now, so then you realized that you needed to find someone to assist you with this. How did you relocate TMI?
Well, it's interesting. In our frustration, we consulted with people in the industry, and TMI's name came up, and thankfully it came back full circle. You and your team came in, and even though it was a tenuous relationship initially because of the expectations and the problems we had and our staff issues. You walked us through it and stayed on it until we got it resolved.
And what was your day-to-day experience with TMI?
You guys were so persistent that at times it caused challenges with my staff, but that's because you guys made a commitment to myself and our partners of being able to solve our problems and get us back on track. And once we realized what was needed, and it did take a big commitment from our part, a dedicated staff and getting correct readings on time and staying with it so you guys could stabilize the system and eventually turn us loose. So.
If you had to do this all over again, when it came to the pools, what would you do differently?
Well, certainly like everything, you learn from your mistakes. We thought we were going to save money. We did initially. However, we paid the price dearly, probably in lost revenues, dissatisfied customers, canceled swim lessons, frustrated members, and turnover of staff because it was such a sore. We would definitely consult with a professional, even from designing the pool room to current issues. We had a lot of problems that were not identified early on, and definitely would spend the money to go with a professional like TMI.
So you would say, Kurt, that it's not just the equipment that matters. What matters, if I may sum this up, what matters is the expertise on how to assist your club in running that equipment on a day-to-day basis. Would that be an accurate statement?
Absolutely. For club owners out there or managers that are involved in pools who think that they're going to be an automatic experience, that's not the case. Although once if you get set up correctly and you get the right people in place and the right group overseeing your project, it's a great experience. But you can't take it for granted. You've got to have the expertise up front. You've got to invest the money up front, and as well as your own staff, and you have to stay on it. But once it's stabilized, the members love the product. So.
Good. Now, thank you very much for taking this time, Kurt, to talk to us, and we look forward to many years of experience with your club.
Thank you guys. Appreciate your help.